going to say what I think, regardless of the consequences. This was clearly a fixed game. Everyone saw it. If FIFA want Argentina to win, then why do you make us come play?
Egypt had Argentina 2-0. Messi had missed a penalty. The crowd was stunned. The reigning world champions were heading home. And then, in one of the most controversial VAR decisions in World Cup history, everything changed. This is what really happened in Atlanta on the 7th of July, 2026. Before we get into the match, you need to understand what was at stake. Argentina are the defending world champions, winners in Qatar 2022. Messi is chasing history going into this game. He already had 20 World Cup goals across his career. Egypt came in as massive underdogs, led by Mohamed Salah, 35 years old, at what everyone knew was almost certainly his last World Cup. The stage was set for something special. Nobody expected it to be this controversial. Egypt came out fearless. They scored first, and then in a moment that sent shockwaves through the stadium, their goalkeeper saved a Messi penalty. Let that sink in. The greatest player of all time, at a World Cup, on the biggest stage, saved. Egypt went into halftime leading and absolutely believing they could do it. The entire country of Egypt was watching. Billions of people across the Arab world had their eyes on Atlanta. Second half, Egypt still controlling, still fighting. And then Mustafa Zico, a name the world was about to learn, finished off a brilliant move started by Salah himself. 2-0 Egypt. Zico ripped his shirt off. The Egyptian bench erupted. Argentina looked broken. And then VAR intervened. The referee called the goal back, not for offside, not for a foul in the immediate buildup, but for a foul that happened roughly 20 seconds earlier on the other side of the pitch, before the entire move had even begun. 20 seconds across the field. In normal football, that call doesn't exist. Commentators in the stadium said out loud that it was beyond VAR's authority to make that call at that stage of the play. Here's where it gets deeper. The rules from the International Football Association Board, the body that writes the laws of football, say VAR can review the period of play before an incident. But 20 seconds earlier, on the opposite side of the pitch, experts immediately called it unusual. One analyst said the referee should have caught the foul in real time if it was truly a foul. The fact that VAR only spotted it after Egypt scored their second goal raised serious questions about the timing and the intent of the referee. Review. And here's where the story gets bigger than football. Just one day before this match, US President Donald Trump had personally called FIFA to ask them to overturn a red card shown to American striker Folarin Balogun, and FIFA did it. They reversed the suspension, allowing Balogun to play in the next round. European football officials were furious. Then Argentina wins under suspicious circumstances the very next day. Egypt's coach Hassam Hassan, who had dedicated part of his pre-match press conference to an emotional plea for the people of Gaza, did not hold back afterward. He said his team had been treated unfairly, that a penalty was not even checked by VAR when it should have been, and that the disallowed goal was an injustice. One sports analyst noted that Hassan's vocal support for Palestine may have created, in his words, built-in biases from officials. Argentina's President Milei is also one of Donald Trump's closest political allies. Trump himself has called him his favorite president. None of this proves the match was rigged, but the combination of events, FIFA overturning a suspension at Trump's request, then Argentina benefiting from a historically unusual VAR call the very next day, made it impossible not to ask questions. With Egypt's second goal wiped out and the score back to 1-0, Argentina were a different team. Christian Romero headed in to make it 1-1 in the 79th minute, and 4 minutes later, of course, Messi, his 21st World Cup goal, 2-1. Egypt pushed desperately for an equalizer, and Argentina scored again on the counter to make it 3-2. Final score, Argentina 3, Egypt 2. Messi in tears on the pitch, not from pain, but from relief. Salah waving goodbye to his fans outside the team hotel, knowing this was the end. Egypt played one of the bravest matches this World Cup has seen. They outplayed Argentina for over 70 minutes. They saved a Messi penalty. They scored 2 goals, one of which was taken away in circumstances that nobody in football could fully explain. And they still lost. Whether you believe in coincidence or not, Egypt deserved better, and the world knows it.